Got the little red dot. And you say, Brad, have you got anything to say to the folks at home?
See that? I didn't catch none of that.
And likewise, there's Shen.
I don't have anything to say to anybody at home yet.
There's Teddy Brewski.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is all good. We're getting your show and tell set up.
All right.
So anyhow, there's a scan of the program. You'll see the little red dot is flashing.
Okay.
When you're done.
Trying time for them. I'm sure. They're all Christians, so it makes it a little. Oh, I was going to ask you too. You're your website.
Yes.
Got all the DMR radios in there, right?
It's got some.
Okay. Because I'm gonna go look on there and see exactly what they got programmed on my radio.
Good morning.
Because I know what's gonna happen. That's a win-win.
Packet or barrel.
What's your name, young man?
Michael Staver.
And you're our new tech today?
That's correct. Just passed the test.
Okay, congratulations, young man, and welcome to the Ham family. Thank you, sir.
I'm getting there.
You know what? My mom and dad, when I was in high school, and I asked them for a they said, no, you're going to have to use a slide rule first.
You meet Steve and Greg and
then we'll get you the
Shannon's our cameraman today.
Getting shots of everybody.
AMD, weapons of mass.
Well, guys, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Mike. Doing good. Everybody, even the shy ones. Good morning. Good morning, Coco and Mrs. Coco.
At the other end, turn right on down a couple of blocks with Asian supermarket, red line. And then after we lived there, we went down to the fries and outlet. You know what else?
Well, it's the 1st of July. We're all here. Whoever's not here, well, they're not here. But that's okay. Yes, sir. So, for those who may not know me, my name is Gary. I'm the club president. My call sign is WD5DW. Welcome to the Cove and Peter Association monthly meeting for July. Got a few new faces in, and got lots of familiar, regular faces in. Thank y'all for being here. If after you leave this meeting you're going on travel or something because of the holiday weekend, please be safe in what you do. We'll start our meeting off by going around the room. Just let us know who you are and your call signs so everybody can identify a name and a face and a voice. That's the big thing, is the voice. So, you're first.
I'm Ross, K8DPZ. I'm his club secretary. If you want to know anything, ask Gary. I'm Brad, KA5, Good Charlie Brown from Austin.
Welcome from Austin.
Good Charlie Brown, everybody knows me about it.
Yeah, welcome from Austin.
And I'm Shan, KD5WMV. Everybody knows me from the big city of Durango.
Durango.
I'm Kogo, Whiskey 5, Charlie Oscar Echo, and this is my wife Hazel.
You always do such a great job of introducing your boss.
Spence, KB5 WQW.
All right.
Melissa, KM5R.
We got here before I did today, so good job.
Myron, AA5NY.
Hello, brother.
W5RCU. Steve, K5CFE, I'm from Georgetown.
All right. Right behind you.
Glenn, K5GAG.
Michael.
Joe, KI5TQB.
All right. Good to see you, Joe.
I'm Greg, KI5LUY out of Killeen.
All right.
I'm Gino, KC9QHW. I live here.
All right.
WW5RON,
Ron.
and name is Ron, and I'm from Vernon.
All right, Ron. Vernon.
KI7TRK, Greg from Vernon.
All right.
K5TSO, you probably hear me on Tuesday nights and Friday afternoons. And from Copperas Cove.
All right.
KC5QNI, Chip, K5 not alone.
Woo! This was funny.
All right.
Ross, KB5KKI.
Richard, KJ5PN, Florence,
Yeah.
Chris, KI5, WYQ.
All right.
Richard, I'm Alpha Go Victor.
Have AI5DL, and if you ever did on 3916, my monitor was Grand Slam Fan.
Grand Slam Pam. Grand Slam Pam on 3916 and evenings at 8 p.m.
Starts at 7.
Starts at 7 p.m. on 3916.
And the 9 p.m. is
And trivia.
And goes until whenever, because we got
Yeah.
3-wheelers at 10, and that goes till whenever they decide to quit.
And I've listened to the 3916 and heard the interactions, y'all being on there, and the guy that runs it. I'm sitting off to the side, nobody knows I'm there, but I've been listening to y'all.
We got a worker.
There you go.
I'm Steve, NU5D, like a nickel under $5, Gatesville, South Mountain, good beer.
All right.
Bruce, Kilo Delta 6 Uniform Yankee, Copperas Cove, up on the hill by the repeater.
James, KG5PT from Belford.
All right.
John, AI5AM, I live in Killeen.
Mike, KJ6KJ from Gatesville.
I had that same breakfast.
Another Mike, I just got my technician class today, so I don't have a number yet.
Well done. It'll be a KJ, I think, right? Is that where we're at? Is KJ's now?
KJ5P something.
All right. Well, good luck to that. Getting that call sign, a KJ call sign.
Tom, KI5CLE out of Cove.
Okay.
Kevin, K4IVE, I'm the vice president.
Our vice president. All right.
Teddy, K5UET, Copperas Cove.
Cliff, AG5UQ, Glenn.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We've got now 62 members, which puts us still, I think, at 21 for a quorum. I personally counted around and was able to come up with at least 21 faces that I know that are club members. But I will sure take a motion to the effect of whether or not we have a quorum. Motion made by Rick, AA5GB, seconded by Mary, KG5TSO. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed can leave. No, just kidding. Say nay. Okay. All right, so we're at presentation show and tell available if somebody has something. Does anybody have anything to show?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that was quick. So if I can turn your attention to the front of the room here, where we have the antenna stuck to the ceiling and the employees of the organization. I don't know if you saw it, but about 4 minutes before we started the class, I looked in the back and they're standing in the doorway and they're like, and they moved over like this, and they were looking at it. I was just smiling. I was like, yeah, they're probably wondering if we're going to bring the building down or something. So, gentlemen, y'all got the floor. Take it away.
Well, this is all my equipment, but I'm going to tell you what. Critical to Steve here. He put this little circuit in this radio here that I had sitting in the closet that I was going to give away. He put that in there, and this takes place of a sound card and a TNC. It costs me to do Vera FM, and regular FM for signal lengths. He'll let you know about the circuit because I have no clue on it. He's the one that did it.
Go ahead and give us a demonstration.
And
Show. Let's send a message.
he also turned around and set this up for me so I can send and receive messages real easy.
Wait. Seeing is believing. That was it.
That's it. That was.
That's the sound of 1200 baud packet going back and forward.
Well, that's the noise I keep hearing on my radio.
And there's no TNC. Those now the TNC is actually a program called sound modem. So you don't have to buy a box.
This is Vera.
This is the sound of Vera.
This here replaces the big signal length at 135 and the TNC is $200. This is K5CRA Cove.
Should be able to hit mine too, right?
That's on 500, right? 500?
Well, this is FM.
So you're running 2300?
It's audio. Passband of FM.
No.
But yeah, but it's got two bandwidths, 500 and 2300.
This is wide. This is wide.
2300.
But on HF you have 300 or 2400. On VHF it's all wideband. Because you have a wideband FM channel.
On HF,
But we're on VHF.
on HF we use 500.
Right.
And the other one,
Two.
there's only 523. They're not sure it's the other one.
This is on HF would be more spectrum efficient. The radio, by the way, is a 1982 model Kenwood TM721. It was a junker laying in the closet to be given away. And Teddy brought it out to field day, and let's give it a try. The computer is Windows 10. We can do a few other things with it though. This same computer, again, this is a CM108 sound card. You can buy them off eBay or from China for about $3 a pop. You solder one wire, add a couple of transistors. The extension cord is $1. You buy them 10 at a time off Amazon. And this actually resides inside the radio. There are only 4 wires to hook up: ground, push to talk, receive, and send. It doesn't take a whole lot of wiring or anything. But there's more. Not only will this do Vera and packet, it'll also serve as an All-Star Link node. And this same computer will run hotspot software. So if you want to have a hotspot for DMR or Fusion or Project 25 or NXDN, a $30 board out of China, a $5 UART, plug it in the side of the computer, and away you go. Now you've got a hotspot. You can use your radio to talk to the hotspot. But if you don't have a radio, same thing, get the software, BlueDV, it's free, plug this stick in the side of your computer, and now you don't need any radio. You can get on Fusion, D-Star, DMR, no radio required. Real simple stuff. Behind us is a $1,300 in about 1995 Windows XP computer. I got the thing in. We changed from XP over to Windows 7 because WinLink won't run on XP. Put Windows 7 in it, and now we have a full-blown digital station. Does WinLink, does DMR, runs the software for a hotspot, MMDDM host. You don't need a Raspberry Pi. MMDDM host will run on any. It will run on Debian. It will run on Windows. You have to compile the software, but for $30, you can get on DMR, Fusion, All-Star Link, you name it. It's very, very inexpensive to get going. And I mean, we just handle traffic with antenna stuck to the ceiling, a power supply, a junk radio, and a junk computer. So you don't have to spend a lot of money, and it doesn't take a lot of equipment. I set a guy up on DMR the other day with a $12 radio, this $30 board, and a junk computer. And anyhow, I showed him Open Shark or something for $419, and then I showed him this, which he's using for like $35 or $40, and he couldn't believe people are paying $400 or $500. And likewise, the Signal Link, which you're paying $150, $200, and here we go. This does the same thing for about $6. So there's a lot of creative things available, and it doesn't take any special skill. It's mostly soldering 4 wires and a little bit of time. So thought that would be a by the way, I have one other thing I wanted to share with you guys. This came up thanks to Marin the other day. Our repeaters send the ID code out. They are courteous. I'm sorry, there's another conversation going on in the room. They're courteous. They won't send the ID out while you're talking. It's called a polite ID, and it waits until you finish, and then the ID comes out. If you key up on top of the ID, it switches from voice over to Morse code. So to give you a little heads up, out of courtesy, it's a good idea when somebody talks and finishes, give it just a little bit of time, so if there's an announcement or the ID, it can go ahead and not clobber somebody. The same thing with the net announcements that we had going on yesterday. As soon as the station stops transmitting, that ID, that message comes out. It will not transmit on top of you, and you can certainly transmit on top of it, and then you get a double. So the whole idea, just out of courtesy and consideration, is when a guy stops talking, give him a second or two, and then go ahead, and that way you won't have so many collisions. That's all I got. Thanks a bunch. I appreciate it. And you
Steve, thank you so much, and Teddy, showing us the station here.
Swap with you.
You're doing good. Keep going.
I'm just going to show them that.
Does not do Vera or doesn't do any of those data modes. If you have interest, speak up. Somebody will help. And if you don't know about resistors and soldering and where in my radio I need to hook it up or whatever, ask. Somebody probably knows. And if you don't know how to do it, but you know who does know how to do it, try to make those connections to try to bring that together. That's my recommendation, so that we can have fun in this hobby. The big thing that I see about amateur radio is you can go out with a whole big pocket full of money. You can buy a whole lot of cool stuff. You can go out there and not much money in your pocket and still get some cool stuff and still be able to do just about the same thing. So that's one of the things that I have personally taken out there when I've talked about amateur radio, is you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to be able to get into the hobby. And when I first entered into the amateur radio realm, I was like amazed by people with 100-foot towers in their backyard and HF antennas and shelves and tables of rigs and this, that, and the other. Nobody took the time to explain to me that there are 2 pathways, and you can get into as far as you want to get in. So just make sure we share that info out there. So we've got folks that don't think that you have to have Googles and gobs of stuff. You can get started real easy, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. So there's people that'll help. All right, anybody? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I brought this today. A lot of y'all, especially our newer hands, this here is a little device that you can use so you don't have to drill through your firewall or splice into your electric cable. It's got a piece that plugs into your fuse box right here. You pull one of your fuses out, stick this in. You stick your fuse that you pulled out in here, you stick the amperage of fuse that you need in the one feeding this line. You can then take your power cable to your radio or whatever device that you're wanting to hook up, and you put the hot side into here, and you ground it out into the chassis, find you a good chassis ground. And this keeps you from having to drill any holes or anything or splice into your cables. This one here is a micro, and they make them in the full-size fuses too. They run about $3 to $6 depending on where you get them. You can buy them in quantity on eBay or Amazon, and it's just a handy device to make your installation of your radio very, it makes it a little faster. Any questions?
Can we pass that around?
Yeah, we can pass this around. This is
Called a fuse
Where'd
tap.
you get it? Where'd you get that?
I got this one at my local auto parts store there in Watt. Like I say, you can order them on eBay. You can also get them on Amazon, and they're fairly cheap that way. It's just a really neat little device. They've been out for a while. It's just some of our newer hams, it's maybe something that they don't know about at this time. But,
Good job.
now another thing too is when you do your chassis ground, now I learned this from Steve, make sure you've got a good ground bond on your ground, because it will affect your transmitting and your receive on your radio. I had that problem with the radio back in the early 80s, and Steve come in and we looked at it and he found that the ground wasn't good. So make sure that chassis ground is a good bonded ground, because it will mess with the radio. That's all I've got. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Sam. Here you go. No, really.
Don't,
You're doing good.
Don't run
You
off.
may need to change battery again.
Good job,
Okay.
Sam. Thank you. Does anybody else have anything for show or? Yeah. So we do not have our fusion repeater hooked to the world, so it's just this area, just this repeater.
Yeah.
So
I like it, but
yeah.
yeah.
So you won't have any competition from the worldwide. You're only going to have competition from just this area.
Since I got my new hearing aids, I might like it a whole lot better than I thought.
Try it out. Never can tell. Any other comments? Myron, I don't know. I haven't listened to himself in business, but I'll put it on a little bit more. I was on there this morning calling from my house all the way to here. Not a soul was talking to me, but I think it's because a lot of people were already here. All right. Inventory committee status. I already know that the inventory committee has not been able to get to the tower site. We can get there now. They finally got it cleared up. We can get there now. If y'all want to go after the meeting, I'm available. If you want to schedule it another time, we can do that. But I know that the inventory committee has not been able to complete their work because the tower site's been unavailable. It's now available.
I'm not sure we can get your feeder side, anyway.
Follow Mike. He knows a shortcut.
Four-wheel drive. You want to four-wheel drive.
Four-wheel drive. Oh, certainly is.
Would urge the inventory people take a camera.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I know Ross took some photos when we were at field day, so yes, that is for sure. Okay. Anything on inventory committee from the inventory committee before I move? All right. We're going to go ahead and go into June field day. I'll give the floor to Kevin so that he can say stuff, and I'm going to sit down.
All right, I can probably talk for an hour on field day, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it real short.
Thanks, Kevin.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Field day.
Field day stuff.
Howard.
Yeah, the bottom line with field day was that it was very safe. Nobody had any kind of heat injuries. Nobody was terribly uncomfortable that I saw. We picked a really, really good location in the shade, and broke all kinds of land speed records for putting up antennas. I tell you what, man. That antenna went up in 8 minutes. I timed it, and it came down in 5, so 3 years. So even while we were out in the sun working, nobody was killed or injured. So that's a big win right there. Made a few contacts. I I got the Cabrillo right here. Just if you're interested, made a total of 172 voice and 57 digital contacts total, 229 total, which is pretty low numbers, I guess, if you compare yourself to anybody else. But considering we were out there just mostly having fun and trying not to die from the heat, that's pretty good.
Man, 24/7, 24.
Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the lessons learned and things we can do better next time, maybe. Nothing really negative. We had no, I can't really say anything negative at all. Things just worked really well while we were out there. We didn't try to over-organize or delegate too much stuff. We basically just said, come on down and have a good time. And Bud kept the roster. We had, 50-something people probably?
Well, we had 27 club members check in, 13 visitors. Of those, one was from the Leader Press, one was from the Clean Daily Press, and also Judge Price gave us points. We had 9 hand couples come from Gatesville and Harker Heights. The Shoemaker family was there. They had 2 young kids. Haley and Micah jumped in on the radios. So I made some first contact awards for them. We had 4 requests for tech guys. And personally, I want to thank Rick and Teddy for providing some meals for us.
I'm going to get to that. I'm still going to get into that anyway. Okay. As you know, field day is basically 2 things. It's making contacts, but it's also exercising. I have a checklist right here that comes straight from ARL. It's exercising emergency operations, communications, field type stuff, contingency operations. And part of that is they want to get public involvement. Big old long list of stuff here. And we actually knocked out quite a few, like Bud was saying. You get points for these. We've never really cared too much about points. We hardly got any the last couple of years. But this year we actually racked up quite a few points for the stuff like emergency power, media publicity, set up in a public space, information booth. Actually 3 things that we didn't do, and that's mostly my fault because I just flat forgot. There's 3 kinds of messages that you get. You get the Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey message transmitted from the mothership, from ARL, and those are available at certain hours on certain frequencies, and all you have to do is just receive the message. It can be digital or voice or whatever, and they tell you how to do it. And I just plumb forgot how to do that. We were so busy just staying cool and not worrying about much else that just forgot about that. So that was 3 things, and that adds up to about 100 points, so it doesn't really make that much difference. Like I said, we don't normally care about that. We got the elected official, we got the served agency, we got the, that was the other thing. An educational element achieved, it says. And for that, you're supposed to have an actual formal training session or some kind of an educational thing. And I just completely forgot about that. We didn't. We were supposed to have somebody come and talk about antennas. Remember who that was?
That was one comment on that.
Yeah.
I've been a ham since 1977, and all I can tell you is this. You give you a ham radio, or you got your cell phone. You take the cell phone and throw it in the lake.
Yeah.
You get in the middle of New Mexico and Arizona with a pulling the trailer or whatever, a flat tire, you're going to get rescued with some mode. It's going to rescue with the ham radio. That cell phone is worthless out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. In fact,
and I work for the phone company.
Yeah, my phone was in my pocket the whole weekend, and I never even. Unfortunately, nobody bothered to call me, so that's good. But anyway, so the youth element, like Bud just said, we had 2 kids get on there and actually make contacts. That young kid voice, male voice especially, breaks through like you wouldn't believe it. Everybody wants to make a contact with them, so that's one of your number one tool if you want to get it. We didn't do a GOTA this year. I was thinking of bringing a system again. I wanted to stay cool, but they're cheaper and have a good time. So we just kind of back down a little bit on some of these things next year.
Besides that,
You know how well this year.
what we put on, we're not drawing 100 amps for 8 hours.
Right.
Get all kinds of
I think we had 4 batteries in there, because that's what was left over from
Oh
all
yeah, social media, we got all that stuff.
old site.
So the bottom line is, those are the things we sort of missed out on. I didn't see anything really negative safety-wise. Our generator was around 8-10 years old.
Yeah, even the stickers on it have to have punch out the date.
Yeah, yeah, so they were ancient, so, and I don't know if we needed 400 amp hours for our
Yeah.
station, but maybe
Could have been
we do.
that
Yeah,
essentially.
and we did have a set of headphones in the traffic
Big
battery.
batteries, we do it. Which raises the next
But
question.
again, everybody was pretty much low key, we didn't really know. But anyway, so that's about the only thing that we can do for lessons learned.
No offense, you made a great point there.
What do we really want?
Headphones
that?
are really
We don't want to spend money on
but
batteries.
if you're working as a team,
Trailer parked in the
you
yard.
need a Y cord,
3 years.
and only need a Y cord. You
Yeah.
need a Y cord
It'll be
that
there when we
can
need it,
accept
hopefully.
either a quarter inch or an 8-inch
Every couple of months.
pin, or, and you need one for 2 types of radios, a Yaesu
I would like to
and a quarter inch for the iPod. So when you think about that, maybe that's something
What do we really want to do?
that might be able to help with.
Yeah.
Make some of those Y cords.
Is there a better and higher?
Real big into, I don't know if we have any big contests here, but if you're in a contest, you already understand all
It's set up
that.
the way it is right now with the solar
Just
panel
slam
and
it
the
up
batteries and
yourself.
stuff, because you're gonna have stuff running around in my head, we got the trailer.
And you're used to having a headset on so you can't get distracted. Yeah, we were in a big old place, which is basically kind of
My part is
a jar. So again, a lot of the stuff we just didn't hear. So, here's the positive. We all got together, there was a bunch of folks there.
One last question.
More people and stuff around.
You're doing a great job, Gary. When I like to play in my pickup, Morse code and everything, and I'm always looking for a shade tree by a lake, breeze.
The weather worked out for you.
I've never been to Lake Mountain or there's other lake over here. There's not too big lakes anymore. What's the deal? Is it, are they gonna harass you? Are you just gonna drive in there, or you're not gonna try to charge you? Or?
You gotta go to one of the parks, they're gonna charge
Some batteries that if you do not
public access.
spontaneously get catch fire. I have that happen to a battery I was using in my video camera.
He's got access.
Yeah, we had dinner time and then we had a late dinner.
You think completely harmless.
Around Morse code.
I had to use it for a couple of years, I took it out,
City Park.
Morning we had
replaced it,
Spots around
bacon.
That way.
and it.
Up on top of the hill, it's my chaparral.
Pink.
It's a big high spot.
So be
Talk about
careful
stuff
if you have some of those batteries.
Metal cover.
Yeah,
Do that.
there's
So that was
It's not bad.
we all got together and did these radio stuff.
YouTube videos on those.
No,
You take a LiPo battery that's charged up, take a high
shield
school,
get together with our friends,
long
talk
stick,
about radio stuff, contacts, wander around and play with that.
it'll start a little fire, and the next thing you know, it's
We had
tall.
4 different stations set up at different times. We stayed 3 out there at a time.
They're putting those electric cars.
There and tore down his entire set. Set up a regular lithium-ion battery operated station for the rest of the whole field. That counts for our, what they call it, natural power. Lithium iron. But anyway, so
One for the good of all.
overall, I feel like everything got a good time. First time we show up, never seen a radio.
Well, I guess you all know about the tornadoes that hit around the Panhandle. I'm often thinking about
When
it.
you're done, I got a couple things to ask you.
Okay. There's technology.
I just want to thank everybody who brought water.
Lithium
One of the things
Everybody brought
roads, racing, mentioned message
Lithium ions are not seen.
was that some of their problems
No
were
shortage
getting
of water,
better.
Gatorade, anybody, if you wanted something to drink,
Alleviated a little bit, that everybody got paid attention to the amateur radio sites
lithium
All right.
ion
that
batteries.
track
So,
the
we're all
roads
things.
from tornadoes.
Not
Phil Day was,
They often
I
have
have
weather,
a
but
pretty good
weather
success.
net,
States that There's very few, whether states didn't that they're not normally public. If they had had that information, I'm checking the
they might have been able, you know,
Aside from that, I think we got to contact
quarterbacking
every single state, minus Alaska as well. But every other US state, we got contact. Most of the states.
I don't know about you guys, people,
California is probably like 7, 8 years. We got California.
Musicians know this. These ears are the least used organ in your body. Used to be 99% of radio
Ontario's broke down.
was to listen to other necks. And I think this is something that we might want to take home. We would be better prepared in case there is a no notice storm coming up. So I just thought I'd pass it out. wasn't able to quickly copy it, but my internet goes out. I'm only on the internet 2 or 3 times a week. And
we also got 2 contacts.
I just read it this morning.
We got New Zealand, we got Australia.
To Gary, I know Gary wants it anyway, and he can send it out to the rest of you. So I just thought I'd mention
Also,
that.
charging those batteries in your shack produces, what's that gas batteries produce?
Those kids did awesome.
What kind of gas?
So not only is it in the US, we got out in the West. There's also another contest here going on Saturday. First off, this is international, 20 meters up. And by the way, 20 meters, let's go back to be able to battery back to our repeater. So we were rocking this context out all over. So previously, you got a lot of contacts. That's really covered up a lot of states. This time, I believe we brought the batteries there. We've never been on there before. We just, I don't know how long we're in since we got West. If we did anything better, we got West. But we're not out anything. We didn't spend some money. Anybody else heavy because we're down. We're just trying to get our deal done.
So we could have a tornado.
Inside, we're going to do something.
I think
She was a
Teddy put it out in the
tornado the bottom floor for about a year, like 18 months. So it does happen.
By the way, there is a 0-calorie Gatorade.
Yes, there is.
All those things, go back.
Thanks, Sid.
Everybody contributed, really helped out. Oh, and by the way, we did have some people that did only dark hours. That really helped. Typically, everybody's there during the daylight. They go home. Very, very good times that we have people that show up. The sun comes up, they leave. Replace the batteries with a porta potty. Yes, sir.
One of the things when I was working with military power supplies, the older lithium ion, we had problems with moisture. The joke was if you had a lithium ion battery and you run out of hand grenades, dip it in water and throw it at the enemy. So, and for non-hams, the weather radio, you can program them for your area. So if there's a severe thunderstorm, whatever, it will only page out for your area. But you also get other alerts like Amber Alerts, Silver Alert, and disaster information. So for non-hams, that's a good way to go.
Anybody else has, you're in there involved, listening to the station, go ahead and type in their contact info in the form, so that way when you send it, you can enter your call sign, it's Whiskey Alpha 6, Julie, wake up, you're up, is there anybody else? All right, let's put the door prize on. Chris, is one of those all back? Yeah, tons of folks. you don't know which.
Shan's got one.
I know you will. It's all right. So there was some folks that had made comments about the propagation.
Second is 862.
That's pretty different setup. First 362 Alpha Delta. That's mounted on the ground. Good. Mounted on the ground.
It's a bag full of stuff.
A bag full of stuff. I love it. It's a bag full of stuff. You got a bag on the bag full of stuff.
My wife keeps a bag.
Well, we got some batteries, some notepads, a pen, well, several pens, and a patriotic chef. And there's something else in here. I've got to figure out what it is. And a adult poncho in case you get stuck in the rain.
All right. Those bags will be sent to the Steve, wants to share something with you. This is not
The North Texas Club is on status. Put this together down at 27 bucks a piece.
So that's there for all 26.
Anyone here is interested, should be glad to take that.
Yesterday at 1.
Not selling t-shirts, but it is
That's not the.
That's it. Maybe next time we'll go back more than.
All right.
Yeah, just,
Any comments on that for us?
Take a look actually.
All right, trailer batteries. Yeah, thank each and every one of y'all about trailer batteries. I hope that you stay safe, that you
On the trailer,
have a good.
there was initial assessment out
Please
there,
remember the reason why it was
at the
created.
site.
Okay, not just as a marketing thing.
I told Kevin that when I got the trailer back to the house,
Why
I
was
would do
it
a more in-depth,
I'm gonna ask a
research on
trivia
what
question. I'm really curious
failed
who
on
can
the,
get this right.
As it turned out,
All of the
Cause and
printed
effect.
money that is out there.
either the solar charger went belly up and took the batteries
Which
out,
one of the
or the
bills?
batteries went out
That's a
and took the
picture of a
solar
firefighter
out.
on it.
The panel itself is fine. I just had it, sitting just outside my workshop.
You might know
I was getting,
which
20
bill has a
volts out
picture of a
the,
firefighter
panel, which is fine. You only get, we only
Come
need
on,
12.
firefighters.
And so I
don't remember either.
About 20, 21 volts out of the solar anyway. So that.
$100 bill.
I was expecting to see the hard hat kind of lead into it.
Go back and
We have a
research.
choice.
Ben Franklin was
We
a
either
firefighter.
upgrade to new
Wow.
technology at a very high end. So,
He goes forth on the 4th with the.
or we can say existing technology, which we've
There
done.
you go.
Battery warehouse.
All right.
Lower costs.
All
My
right,
concern
guys. Make sure we take
on
care
it,
of our
if we
servers.
choose
They
to,
took good care of us. We got through until 10 o'clock. That
that trailer is, that's the first time that trailer was attempted to be used in 4 years, 3-4 years, something like that. So keep in mind that going forward, if we're gonna go do technology, that trailer needs to be used. The other factor too is, hopefully those batteries survive the Texas heat out here. 'Cause as you know, it gets hot out there, and in that trailer, in that box, it is not climate controlled. Whether that affects LiPo batteries or not, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know anything about lithium or LiPo batteries, except what goes in my laptop. So that's basically my 2 cents worth.
What?
Our battery expert sitting right there, what's his take on it?
On the new technology, the lithium iron phosphate battery, you brought up the point about the environment, and that's important. The lithium iron phosphate batteries don't tolerate environmental extremes as well as lead acid. You mentioned it's excess heat. In fact, if it's out there, parked outside, it's getting sun, and it's trying to charge the battery when it's already 120 degrees in that box. That's not the biggest danger for lithium iron phosphate. Charging them when you're cold is the big problem.
Say 2021.
Right, or if anything below, I think 34 degrees Fahrenheit, you have to be careful. And in fact, a lot of you have power tools, DeWalt power tools, they'll have warnings, do not charge at less than 34 degrees. Number that sticks in my head, there may be others. So, I don't think it's a good idea to put those type of batteries in a piece of equipment to be in an environment like we have where it's parked outside. If it was parked inside a firehouse, that's different, where it's in a controlled environment. So if I was going to buy more batteries or new batteries for it, I would stick with good old sealed lead acid, AGM, deep cycle